put this on here. We also do have special needs approached in cartoons. But, you know, yeah, let's just go do the Tyler vid. I might watch that on my own time. I think it'll still be a good video though. Because I'm really trying to think of all special needs characters.
So a few weeks ago, Tyler the Creator got canceled again after some old tweets and some old evidence of his very
how old is this? Oh, this just came out 2 days ago. What the hell?
Black Our Future days resurfaced. I'm obviously late to the conversation, and I already did give some commentary on it in my live streaming channel. By the way, I stream randomly in the morning, sometimes on Twitch. I'll leave links in the description. I'm not very good at it, but we having some fun. Go ahead, check us out. And there's already other better videos about this. Shout out to Square Symbols as a younger voice who grew up with Tyler that really did a good deep dive on his career. There's also a company man who's my age and has covered hip hop forever, along with others who I might be forgetting.
Shout out Unc, man.
These videos are more specifically about Tyler. This one, not so much. I shout out those videos because they're really good and they're more specifically about Tyler.
Unc, man. We need an Unc perspective.
Not so much, and you'll see why in a second. I got a lot of requests to say more about this moment, but to be honest,
I look like I'm doing whiteface?
The conversation around Tyler's behavior and problematic
history, this light is killing me.
I feel like we're coming away from this story with the wrong lessons learned, if we learned anything at all. And considering how many times we've had this conversation, not just around Tyler, but folks with Tyler's typical background, I can't help but be frustrated with the repetition here and the lack of new developments in this conversation of internalized anti-blackness, accountability, and what should be done with recuperated coons, aka recuperations. I'm really proud of that. I don't know if I'll be able to say it on YouTube. It might be bleeped out, but just understand. Recuperations, that's me. That started here.
I thought it said
take it to the world, but just understand where it came from.
Yeah.
So let's get some background out the way for those who aren't aware for whatever reason. Tyler the Creator is arguably the second biggest and most significant rapper in the game right now, next to Kendrick Lamar. And he's been significant for over a decade, but in the last like 7 or 8 years, ever since he released Flower Boy.
I'm not gonna start it. I don't want to piss people off. I'm not gonna say
Boy, back in 2017, he's been.
I was about to say something that's gonna piss people off, but
Tyler's one of the most interesting creative figures in hip hop. One of only a few that are able to be both highly commercially successful and highly creative and artistic, and interested in the artistry of hip hop.
He dick riding.
Big and small will just get a few beats, write some good rhymes, and then call it a day and send that out there. But Tyler, on the other hand, he's like low-key a composer. And while I'm not the biggest Tyler fan personally, I love that he puts so much work and thought and effort into his music.
He's serious about this music shit, nigga.
And for art in general.
I was like, I want to be the best producer ever. I could do every genre. Y'all think I can't write songs? Oh, okay, I'm gonna write pop songs. I gave him See You Again. And then it was like, oh, he playing it safe now. So then I did Igor.
Tyler's also openly bisexual, which makes him extremely unique in the hip hop world. And this is an extremely important detail because Tyler's 2017 album, Flower Boy, was technically his 5th album and the first album where he openly announced his queerness. Before then,
they gonna bring out the old me.
Tyler Swift slips his dick inside of Taylor Swift's slit.
When he's all mad at me with the racist ass. Bringing up old lyrics. Bitch,
never knew dude was gay. I mean, he is bisexual, but
fuck bitches with no permission. These niggas are retarded. Yep, I just said that word.
I want to tie her body up and throw her in my base.
Actually, you know what?
There's nobody could wonder where her face.
I wanted to say something too, cause I have noticed. You know, we're really letting the R words fly lately. Bisexual is just an excuse that you like to fuck dudes on the side. That's literally not true, but okay. Literally not true. But hey. You know? There's the internet for you. You've been hearing it so much this year. I'm a bit, because the thing is like I said, I remember we were talking about earlier. I don't say I don't say it because it's not in my vocabulary. But also, I also don't say it because you know what I'm saying? Like, it's considered one of those words that you're not supposed to say because, you know, like, especially if you're like a content creator. I mean, people will cancel you and shit. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas don't care. Niggas don't care. I think, but you know what's crazy though? It's like, it's just not in my vocabulary anymore. So it's like, I don't even really like even say it, even when I'm like angry or something. I don't know, bruh. Just say tard. It's more common in the EU. Well, I mean, I'm not saying the commonality part. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not talking about like people's use of it in real life. I'm talking about like on the internet. That's what I mean. You know, specifically from, you know, content creators, because, you know, that's obviously a word that you can't really say because, you know, either people will try to cancel you or get mad at you for saying it because it's supposed to be an offensive word, or, you know what I'm saying, obviously you working for companies and stuff, and or you get a sponsor or some shit and you say that word, that's a word that will literally get your ass no money. You get demonetized for that on YouTube. And I know this firsthand because literally I got demonetized for using it randomly on one video. But that was a long time ago. What are people going to do about it realistically? I mean, I just said. I just said. Like, companies will, if you that's an offensive word. That if a company sees you using that word openly, and you know people are, you know what I'm saying, offended by that word, they're not going to, you know what I mean, pay you. Despite companies and all that shit. Oh, obviously nobody's gonna do nothing realistically to you unless if they're crazy. But I mean, that's just what that's for. I mean, like nobody's gonna do shit to anybody for using words. Obviously, we already witnessed this in real life. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like, niggas can say whatever they want. At most, you know, obviously people have the right to rebuttal what you say. But that's, other than that, obviously nobody's gonna do that. But I'm just talking about from a content creator point of view. If you making like videos on platforms that are sponsored by people and companies, and you want to get paid, there's just certain things you can't do. And some of those things is using words that are offensive towards people. And now used to be a word that is offensive towards people. Same reason why you can't use the F slur, or you can't use, certain people can't use the N word, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's just, that's what that is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. But now that people who have these ability to make money off the internet and they're able to use that word and companies don't care, that's what I was literally just trying to say. Like, you know, this is kind of crazy. I just been seeing that a lot more lately. So maybe people really care for real. That's all I'm saying. Us content creators go through a lot, I gotta say. All right, buddy.
It's fair to say Tyler the Creator has two distinct eras, before and after Flower Boy.
That's definitely
and while
true.
He's been a big personality and outlandish and avant-garde and outspoken the entire time, all of those features were distinctly worse, more toxic and abrasive and kinda shitty prior to Flower Boy. As a child of the Eminem horrorcore, edgier than thou era of hip hop in the early 2000s, as well as a closeted queer kid back when that wasn't very easy to do, along with having daddy issues and just social awkwardness. And I can't not do this, but look at what Tyler looked like as a kid.
Hey.
He was definitely
Hey. No. Stop. We not about to sit up here. I don't care what Tyler the Creator looked like as a kid. This my GOAT, and he was definitely getting the boys and girls, no club. You know what I mean? He looked like a gimp. The fuck does that mean? He has such lovely ears. This is a good looking, you know what I'm saying? This somebody cousin, man. This somebody brother, man. Look at my goat, man. And you can't say that, I mean, he don't look like this now. You know what I'm saying? Definitely glowed up, but it's not, he wasn't never ugly though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? He's just like a, you know what I mean? Honest working kid. You know what I mean?
Getting fried and getting made fun of and bullied a lot. Thus, Tyler leaned into being extreme and edgy.
But to be fair, y'all will never see
he had a punk rock,
what is it?
irreverent energy.
What was that, junior high?
Rapper.
Y'all will never see an elementary, junior high, or high school photo of my yearbook ever in y'all life. You had to kill me to get. I mean, my high school one is actually not bad at all. Actually, you know what I mean? I was looking very great, handsome looking man, but you had to catch. You know what I'm saying? You had to kill somebody to get those, bruh. No get, bruh. Hello?
Time when that was actually happening a lot and was very new to hip hop, and because of that, probably much more accepted, or not accepted, but like people weren't thinking critically about why that was and what it meant. Today, folks like Denzel Curry,
I don't even think I look this.
Cardi,
I don't even think
Nasty,
I look the
Tito
same.
Touchdown, and others have a much easier time bringing this alternative energy to hip hop. That's because of what Tyler did a decade prior to them. But it was also during this time that Tyler made more than his fair share of crappy edgelord jokes, lyrics, tweets, etc. Which it seems like every 6 to 18 months.
Was I anti-social as a teenager?
On Twitter and black social media circles, whenever his new fans
literally the
discover
opposite.
his older work and fairly feel some type of way.
I was a very
about
social
what
butterfly.
So I want to get this out of the way early because I'm not a huge Tyler the Creator fan.
Nigga, I was not Playboy Cardi.
You talk about rappers, just rap fans.
I have
that
multiple
watch
friend
content
groups.
horrible. Like
I was just the funny guy.
I hate y'all so much, but I just want to be clear to those
who was
of
just
you
minding
who
his
might
own
pay
business.
attention. This video is not a defense of Tyler, and I'm not really a huge Tyler the Creator fan. I've liked some of his stuff at times. I actually probably appreciate the earlier, really edgy, wild stuff more than the newer stuff, just because I've heard better versions of the newer stuff at an earlier date, if that makes sense. But I want to get out of the way that old Tyler was bad. While I think it's important to understand.
That's interesting. I never heard somebody who was not into Tyler liking being more fond of their older shit than their newer shit. Unc, I think I fuck with Unc. That's very I've never heard that. Did you crack any shits? All right, buddy. I can see older hip hop heads liking old Tyler more.
What contributes to the type of behavior he participated in, and we'll talk about that more.
The only reason why I say I can't, because like I don't think he was really. Actually, no, yeah, I can see that. Because the only reason why I say I can't, because I'm like old rap head, like hip hop heads, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think I would think they would like enjoy more of the shit where he's actually like rapping on some like rapping shit, you know what I'm saying? Versus like him just, you know, talking about kill people, burn shit, fuck school type shit, you know what I mean? Or you know, Tron Cat or some shit. I'm like, I'm not expecting no old nigga to like Tron Cat, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, that's where I'm coming from. Like I'm like, we hear all these songs, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not expecting no old guy, like from just purely from a rap standpoint, you know what I mean? Especially if they like edgy Eminem and people like that. I feel like he's a better rapper now though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, rap wise, he's way better now than he was back then. So that's why I'm like, an old hip hop head I think would enjoy him now than his earlier shit, because he wasn't really, not saying that he wasn't rapping, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's like what I'm looking for? He ain't rapping like Jay-Z back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he not even rapping like Lil Wayne or nothing. It's not normal. Like now he kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could kind of compare him rapping wise to somebody, not Jay-Z obviously, because he ain't on Jay-Z level, like conscious, like, you know, get your $1 million rap or some shit, or even Nas or some shit, but like he's in that where you can compare him with other rappers. And I think that old niggas who like that shit will be like, that young man Tyler, he kind of spitting for real. This kind of remind me of back in the day.
In a second, understanding why.
Plus, also him like doing songs with Clips.
Needing to be accountable. For
if you're a Clips fan, I'm imagining
you
are an old. And no disrespect to Clip fans, I just want y'all to know this. If you are a Clips fan, I'm imagining you to be an old nigga. You know what I'm saying? Probably around this man's age. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be disrespectful because I respect Unc. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, I feel like if you listen to the Clips and hearing Tyler being in there, that's where I'm imagining those type of people are listening to Tyler now. That's why I'm saying, like, his older shit is literally nothing compared to anything he's doing in 2025.
And the big issue with Tyler in this regard,
I'm really not trying. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean.
He's alluded to it and touched on it in songs.
But let's be real. Nobody under the age of 30 is listening to Clips.
Genuine good faith critics and fans.
Unless if you're a real hip hop head, you know what I mean, or you
struggling with the harm of his.
Let's be real. Come on, bro.
And I hate this because I think Tyler telling his story, explaining his evolution, and reconciling with his past self will be really powerful for a lot of people.
Don't let this get out, because I'm pretty sure niggas, somebody's going to take offense to that. I ain't listening to Clips, and I'm only 16. Like, boy, you're not listening to Clips, bro.
Prior transgressions. Further, there are plenty of folks who will say that he's done enough to
You're not listening to Clips, bro.
And this is old news being drudged up again. And I actually had a similar take myself until I realized he actually never addressed it in the first place. With that in mind, here's a new rule I want to send out to everyone that's got Tyler, the creator type skeletons in their closet. If you are a big public figure whose work of art is greatly supported by a vulnerable population, and it's revealed that you've got a sketchy past regarding the treatment of that population, to me, you need to be prepared to apologize every time it's brought up. You may have changed, you may apologize once when it first is brought up, but the fact of the matter is, if you're still receiving...
I'm gonna be honest, I think you can't... I think the one thing that Tyler fucked up on is that, you know, even though it's his personality, and I agree with him, you just can't win in this day and age. Like, you just gotta just take the L and just apologize, bro. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Even though he did apologize a lot of times, but it's like, bro, in today's age, like, whether if you're right or wrong, like, you know what I'm saying? It's always best to not try to provoke and just trying to double and triple down. Niggas do not like when people double and triple down on anything, bro. We done literally seen it multiple times. Like, dead ass, even with Tyler, but not even just with Tyler, but a lot of other celebrities. When niggas double, triple, or even quadruple down on a point and they're dying on a hill, it just gets way worse for them. You just have to be like, you know what? Yes, this is the 1,000th time that we've been through this. But I have apologized. I'm still sorry. I'm not the same guy, and then move on. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to double and triple down on shit, because niggas is going to get more angry, bruh. That's why I'm glad, A, I'm not that big at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not famous. I'm glad. And B, even if I was very famous, niggas can't cancel me, because the best thing you're going to get is a clip, or you're going to look at my old Twitter. I literally say nothing crazy at all whatsoever. I say nothing crazy, so you can never cancel me from some old tweets I said, because literally I don't delete none of them, and none of them are even crazy. And if there's some old clips out of me saying some crazy shit, they don't exist. They don't exist. Very calculated. I dead ass really thinking, like, I don't think I could ever get canceled for anything. Cause I just don't be saying superly, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a really big digital footprint for people to go back and look at something I done or some shit that might get me canceled. Maybe I just had that plan in my head the whole time. I was 3 steps ahead of even my own self. No, Incredible Hulk. My bad. I'm sorry.
resources and income and notoriety because of your work from this population.
But maybe
as
there
new
might be
people
something
come
that
on
might
and
get me
find
canceled. I
out
don't know.
about that bullshit
Especially
tweet
nowadays.
history that you have, just apologize again. It's fine. It's not that hard. People
no,
do it all
actually,
the
no.
time. You don't
On
have
second
to make
thought,
it a
hold
huge
on.
deal every time.
I'm not gonna lie. I take that back. There might be some things because there is some shit that I have said that people that might get taken out of context. And let's just say if I would ever get to Tyler's size or some shit, I could see somebody trying to cancel me for it. I take that back. I can see it because let's be real. No, let's really think about this because especially if it's on like stream, I know there's a lot of people that they might come back. Bible Man, I don't think Bible Man's doing nothing. That's not on me. That's on like LB. And LB don't care. Not that I would care either, but I'm like, even outside like all the old streams that might be up or old videos, I don't think I've ever said anything crazy enough to get me canceled. But yet again, who knows? I mean, because, maybe next year, I don't know, talking about New York rats might offend somebody and might get you canceled. To the point where, you know what I mean? You never know. And I talked about New York rats a lot. I'm not even from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, something about Texas Terry. Texas Terry might get me canceled. I don't know. You never know in today's age, bro. You never know, bro. Niggas get canceled for having 2 strands of hair in front of their face, bro.
You maybe don't have to make a video every time, but acknowledge that that's a thing for those people to hear. To me, that's a fair deal within reason, of course, because the flip side is that a lot of people aren't really invested in addressing harmful past or rectifying the causes of that behavior in the first place. A lot of people say they want accountability, but they really just want to drag.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Ridiculous things like
they just want to drag. They don't care.
Robe. Not only do you need to address this more formally than Tyler has, you also need to be prepared to acknowledge it in a few years when my 10-year-old son, who loves Tyler the Creator, by the way, discovers just how wild he was in the early 2010s. But this brings me to the more interesting,
Daddy, he was a Klans member.
This conversation
once
that
again,
I haven't heard enough of this whole time. What about who Tyler is now?
Once again,
what can we learn
that was
glean from that? Not
it
just
was
with him,
it was a
but
different
for a lot
time.
of black folks who have had similar hangups about their blackness. This is not to say that Tyler's some angel.
I'm not gonna lie, Kanye's gonna have to do a lot of explaining.
Criticize his change, but don't fully analyze it. Yes, he was an edgy boy before, but
Kanye will forever have to explain himself for the rest of his life.
Just like categorically, that's a good thing. Whether or not you think it's genuine, that's up to you. But I still want to think more about how and why that transition happened. Because if you think about it, Tyler's doing the opposite of a lot of aging rappers from my era and after. While people like Ice Cube, Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and others are getting worse and worse as they get older, Tyler has gotten better.
Wait.
Tyler's no Tupac or Dead Prez or anything.
Wait, what did Snoop Dogg do? How is Snoop Dogg getting worse? Is it just he's just accepting all money that's coming to him? This nigga got a video game now of him being like a judge. Nicki Minaj and Kanye, I can understand that. Those two are understandable, obviously, because they have definitely just have lost the plot. But what the fuck does Snoop Dogg do?
But he's gotten more.
What did Ice Cube do?
And progressive in his.
Is it that World of Wars movie?
More and more rare for most popular musicians in any genre, let alone
that World of Wars movie.
Kendrick Lamar, the superstar rappers just aren't saying a lot in their music.
He says something about having to explain being gay because of a kids movie.
Like, opening up a different.
Nigga, what? Having to explain being gay because of. Wait, is he explaining? I'm confused by that. Like, is he explaining like his son or something? Something about a gay couple in a movie and having to explain it to his grandchild or something. Oh, and he must have said some tomfoolery. Gotcha. He gave him that See, honey, this ain't really
Oh,
real
yes,
for
but
real.
that's not the money move. The money
Type
move
shit.
is never seeking liberation in your art.
God damn it,
Why did
Snoop.
it happen? And more
Come on,
importantly,
Uncle Snoop.
Can we bottle that? Can we repeat that process? So the first question of why and how that happened requires us to think about why Tyler was so edgy and shitty in the first place. And that's what often frustrates me, because people never seem to be interested in the core causes of such things. Everyone loves to pile on, but nobody likes the work that needs to happen before and after that. In this
He's
case,
literally
I think
not
we're
wrong.
still not fully unpacking how nerdy, alternative, queer, or just kind of weird Black kids are often treated in Black spaces. And I don't see enough acknowledgement on how impenetrable and sometimes hostile Black culture can be to those unlucky few Black youth who, for whatever reason, usually reasons outside of their control,
just
exist
quirky.
outside Black cultural norms. I'm
Yeah.
about to wander carelessly into a field of study I'm not an expert on, anthropology, so please be critical and gracious to me for a moment. And for any real anthropologists in there in the comment section, go ahead and let me know what I missed or fill in the blanks or whatever. But Black culture is what is called a high context culture, which in brief means is a culture that relies on nuance, amplified understandings, shared experiences, and other forms of nonverbal communication as a way of expressing certain ideas, communicating and building connections to one another, not through direct conversations all the time, but through an understanding that you only really have if you are having a Black experience. I like to lean into this high context cultural stuff in my content sometimes. In many of my main videos, there's always parts of it that some viewers get that other viewers don't, and they'll be asking in the comment section what a particular thing might mean. But here's the thing, not every Black person is lucky enough to have.
Oh, I was confused. I'm like, what does he mean by that? I might be a little too stupid, but okay, I get it now. It's just we're not direct with our shits. It's like you got to understand. Didn't you direct that movie? Nigga just called me Jordan Peele. And I will say, yes, I did.
Been brought up into the core of what Black culture looks like and feels like, or for whatever reason, if they maybe do, but they also find themselves attracted to these other alternative spaces that are outside of the Black norms, they can be punished for that. In some cases, it isn't a big deal, but in many cases, this brands those folks as outside. And for Black people, at least, this is a complex and hard to deal with thing, because on one hand, it's a very toxic practice that leaves a lot of young Black folks struggling with identity and self-love and a sense of belonging and community.
But I must say this, I don't really, and people may disagree with me on this, but I really think that's just because of internal hate. And if I'm gonna be honest, since we already getting to this point, getting woke, slavery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some of that internalness of, having not to be different in order to like, obviously not get killed. That type of shit may have was passed down, and now it's like a cultural norm for people because obviously, if I'm gonna be honest, we all know the people that be like, because we already had a whole, conversation about this, talking about, too Black for the white kids, too white for the Black type shit, whatever. Y'all know, we already been through all this, right? Why that line always stays with me and shit, but and things of that nature. But I really think it's because, especially when it comes from other niggas, right? Or no matter even your race, really, honestly, culturally wise, I think it just comes from a place of people are more comfortable with what they know versus being uncomfortable with things that they don't know or they can't understand. And I think that's a big reason why, especially just speaking from a nigga point of view, right? If I'm liking something and people around me that are the same as obviously culturally wise, we were the same, and they're like, oh, you're not listening to, something that, we are type shit. Like if I'm listening to fucking rock or some shit, you like the thing is you niggas get mad when you bumping rock in the hood, right? Type shit. Is because they're not used to hearing this type of shit, and they're like, this not something that you should be doing because like that's not something that we do as a collective of people. That's not normal to us. And it's like, damn, bro, like I can't even listen to no damn rap, but I think it's not. I think it's more for the fact that it's like, it's not something that they used to. So it's like it's not in our diaspora type shit. So you gotta like, nigga, you gotta like, it's, come on, bro. Like, I don't understand this rock shit. Don't be playing this shit around me, nigga. Don't be playing 9-inch nails around me, nigga. Like, I don't understand this shit. Don't be playing this shit because now you making me feel uncomfortable, gang. Like, it's like, damn, bro. Like, expand your horizons, bro. I'm sorry, but I can't help the things that I like, bruh. I'm sorry, bruh. I'm sorry. I can't help the things that I like, bruh, that may be alternative or weird to what us as a people are known to like. I just can't, man. I just like all types of music. I'm not a really big rap fan, or what I mean. I love R&B, right? Rock, like soul music is like, you can miss me on that sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not listening to damn gospel music. Got me fucked up, nigga. Like, I kind of like, what I'm saying? Like, I like, heavy metal, what I'm saying? Thrasher music. Like, I like all that type of shit. That's just the shit that I like, bro. Like, I just like it. I can't explain to you why, other than the fact that I just like how it sounds. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, nigga, I'm going to listen to some anime openings. Nigga, I like J-Rock, nigga. Like, yeah, bro. Sorry. I like J-Rock, bro. Sorry, bro. And not just because I watched anime. I genuinely like J-Rock. You know what I mean? I know you may not understand, but it's like, it just be like that though. And I'm just using music as an example because that's the easiest one I could think of. But it's just like, yeah, this is just crazy how, you get punished more for being yourself because other people don't understand why you like this because they're taught different and they're not allowed to be like that. It's just crazy. You like white girl music. All right, brother.
But on the other hand, this is a response to oppression and the constant threat of white supremacy, which has always employed certain types of black folks that do need to be identified, policed, and ousted at times.
Oh, damn.
I talk about this a lot in my Bamboozle video. That'll be in the description. But what this means is that there is a bit of hypervigilance around black culture that can turn into ostracism and bullying. And if you're ostracized and bullied, much like someone like Tyler, Creator was, it's predictable that you might develop certain anti-black tendencies as a coping mechanism. I again refer to the African proverb that the child that is ousted from the village will burn it down.
I don't think I was ever.
Again, I repeat, because
now I know what he meant. Like, it could be like, obviously keyword could be. I don't think I was. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Actually, no, that's not true. I think I might have been a little anti-black. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I really grown into like being black for real until later on, actually understanding it. Nah, that nigga cooking, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I related to Tyler because he was different and he was speaking as somebody as I would be. And maybe by proxy, maybe that's also why. Like, obviously it was before that, obviously, but like dead ass. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I definitely was anti-black. I definitely was anti-black. Not like in a super bad way, but like definitely was like, it's not always about race type shit. You feel me? You know what I mean? Definitely embracing other sides of me other than my blackness. I ain't gonna lie, he not wrong.
Some of y'all are. This does not excuse anti-black behavior, but if the goal is to stop said behavior, then we need to be more interested in figuring out where it stems from.
Yeah.
And that is a struggle. Another recurring conversation I see online is black nerds trying to explain to black normies, I guess, how toxic and abusive some of them have been to them in their earlier years.
Sometimes I question my blackness in my pants.
Villain in someone else's story.
All right, buddy.
But it's wild to see the deflection that happens and to see people act like there was no bullying of nerdy or weird black kids in a uniquely ostracizing way. Not the typical joning or roasting that happens to all of us in community, which, by the way, still probably greatly needs to be reduced somewhat. but specifically that black alternative type kids, queer
I
kids,
agree.
nerds, etc., are labeled as somehow less
I would never
black
agree with
due
this,
to
but
their
now I
niche
kind of agree.
interests. I say this as a former teacher.
It's really crazy how roasting is a form of love. Even though realistically, niggas don't really mean ill intent behind it, but it's like, damn, the amount of times you roast somebody, it really is gonna hurt them. Like
during the late 2000s,
it's kind of like our form of like love and therapy, I guess.
Sometimes treated in black spaces.
Black alt people, the black K-pop people, the black anime people are a bunch of coons.
Whoa!
Go on.
You wanted acceptance from whites so bad that when they didn't give it to you, you offed yourself. What?
If someone
What? That's a weird ass nigga, bruh.
tells you being a black anime fan means you hate your blackness, what they're actually saying is they lack the aptitude to perceive how broad blackness is. Black alt people led the movement for black liberation. Black alt musicians built K-pop and rock's foundation. Black
Nigga that said if you like anime, you white. That's crazy.
anime fans are the most influential storytellers of this generation. Black writers and animators are introducing new black characters. And if after decades of systemic discrimination, gentrification, media underrepresentation, and purposeful miseducation, one of my own shows up hating their own skin, then you help them, not trivialize their end.
This doesn't mean you put on the clan robe. This also doesn't mean that in the black nerd world, there isn't a significant amount of anti-blackness among other things. But it does
I ain't gonna lie, that man spitting. I really have nothing to say to that.
Easy it is to pile up on folks from alternative spaces when they do end up on the Summer Jam screen. A lot of anti-blackness is a coping mechanism for this treatment. And also, let's not act like so many black folks who more easily fit into black culture don't also have similarly toxic tendencies, because they definitely
it goes both ways.
I find myself wondering if the
it goes both ways.
Tyler, the Creator, versus say a rapper like Future, who's got plenty of heinous behavior in his past, doesn't imply that it's not really about the behavior. Diddy was a well-known scumbag for years and kept getting passes on it because he was the essence of cool for multiple eras of black culture.
That's crazy. But it's dead ass true though. It's dead ass true, bruh. It's dead ass true, bruh. This man Future actually is a horrible person. But he's still the coolest nigga. and you know, Future's the GOAT, man, but he is also a horrible person. like I'm not even like, I'm laughing because it's like it's dead ass true. It's like, bruh, he's a horrible person. And it's kind of crazy now if you really think about it, because it doesn't work for Drake. It doesn't work for it doesn't work for Drake the same way that it works for Future. Because like Future can do some tomfoolery, niggas will call him cool because damn, that's actually hold on, that's a prime example. Bro, Future can do something very horrible and niggas will consider him still cool no matter what he does or some shit. Or even Snoop Dogg doing some horrible shit, people won't consider it crazy because he's quote unquote cool. But Drake do the same shit, people will call him corny, lame, all this type of other shit, bro. Like, and it's like, bro, he's literally doing the same thing, probably to a lesser degree than somebody like Future. But it's that nobody really took Drake seriously, or he's considered corny, like amongst niggas, right? Like this, like he not gonna get treated the same way. That's crazy. That's crazy, bruh. Cause dead ass Tyler getting hate because he is different. Cause a lot of things Tyler has said, other people have said in real life, verbatim, out loud. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure, and I'm gonna say allegedly, but I'm pretty sure if ASAP Rocky said some similar things that Tyler has said, but they're not gonna treat him the same because he's not quote unquote the weird kid. people even more famous than Tyler? Yes. Yes. Like I said, Nas, you know what I'm saying? Like, not Nas. I'm not saying Nas, but like, you know, people even more famous or more cool, or not even or in the same ballpark as Tyler now, but are like considered quote unquote cool. They can say some crazy shit and they're not gonna be the same way as Tyler is. That's kind of weird, man. But it's just true. It really just proves as long as you're quote unquote cool, you can get away with anything, honestly. Like, bro, Future Deadass has multiple baby mamas, treated some of the women that he's been with horrible, but he's considered cool. That's not cool though. That's not cool though. That's actually not good at all whatsoever, bruh. That is literally not good. But Tyler come out as bisexual, now that's a problem. He talk about he wanted to fuck a white boy, now it's a problem. It's kind of, you know what I mean? But to be fair, I mean, it makes sense though, because, you know, we allow people, you know, people get mad at women saying that they want to fuck multiple men and do, you know, crazy horny things, but men been doing it for years and nobody has a problem with that. It's okay for a man to say, you know, they let a nigga suck his dick, but niggas get mad at two women talking about their pussy. Hey man, it be like that, I guess. I don't know, man. So we definitely live in a world of double standards, man. And the craziest thing is we live in a world with double standards, but nobody actually gives a fuck about actually keeping the same energy and getting rid of these double standards.
Tyler is a weirdo, still is, but is the reflex who jump on him partly a manifestation on how we police blackness when black folks decide to get weird? When I look at the history of
black folks decided to be weird is a crazy sentence.
It does feel like certain black men who perform a certain type of masculinity get way more leeway than those who do not. And if that's not the case, because I haven't cooked that take long enough to really stand behind it, what I do think never gets engaged with is that while a lot of people speak to wanting to protect the culture and whatnot, that shit is really not front of mind for folks in these types of situations. Some folks do genuinely.
Another example, Frank Ocean comes out as gay. People chastised him, called him a whore, like, said all types of crazy things about this man. Meanwhile, there is a lot of niggas from a specific region. Y'all be talking about slipping on semen and all that shit, or busting niggas' cheeks open, or Joe Budden literally fucking a dog, and not a single person really care about any of that. Like, nigga talking about. Bro, maybe it's a joke, but even still, it's like, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. These niggas talk, bro, nigga out here, but like, what that nigga Cameron said from that video you sent me? Nigga talking about him graping Scooby-Doo or some shit. Not a single person care because he cool though. But a nigga talking about they want to have sex with a furry. Yeah, graped a poodle. Like, bro, what kind of weird shit is that? Nobody cares though, cause he's cool. Like, bro, y'all be saying the most sus and weird shit. But as long as you are cool, like, you know what I mean, you can get away with it, I guess. But a nigga being a weirdo or a nerd like Tyler or Tierra Whack or some shit. Hell, even Missy Elliott. If they say they like, if Missy Elliott says she like women, now all of a sudden she's the bad girl. Like, come on, bruh.
Here, and you can see it in their regular behavior in between these types of events.
Come on.
But a lot of folks are just here for the pack out party, and I'm personally over that. And that brings us to the real lesson here from my perspective. What fixed Tyler was community and acceptance, not being canceled on Twitter. Call-outs feel good, but call-ins fix problems. Much like when he was a kid, Tyler's early foray into hip-hop was met with people keeping their distance. But a combination of Tyler's hard work as well as his love for music caused others to invite him in, and that clearly helped him get his shit together. And then we got great art out of the equation. And to me, that's the thing that needs to be most prominent in the aftermath.
That's the primary reason why I like Tyler, because he was weird. I was a weird kid. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. He's just very relatable to me. Our Future just came out at a perfect time, and I just gravitate toward because I'm a weird. Niggas gotta acknowledge when they are a weird nigga, bro. I'm a weird ass nigga. I said it. I'm a weird ass nigga, and I'm okay with it. Let me be a weird ass nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not a creepy nigga, just a weird nigga. I just have, I think about the world differently, bro. You're very weird, and you know what? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I like being weird because I just got a different view of the world. That's all. I'm a creep. I can believe that.
All the emerging new
I could believe that. What's up, Alphon?
Social media and your YouTube feed that are just really trolling black people for clicks. Y'all need to stop watching them. Stop watching them. Stop asking me to react to what they say. Fuck all of y'all that keep.
Wait, what is he talking about?
Like, stop it. Stop it.
Wait, what is he talking about?
Lost causes are not worth engaging in. But maybe there was a point in their past where they could be reclaimed, where they could have been recuperated.
Recuperated is crazy.
Call out, y'all. I get it. Congratulations. Call outs may feel good. Call ins fix problems. That's how we build coalitions and movements. And maybe Tyler isn't fit to be in your coalition or my movement.
Oh, is he talking about like people like that guy that was in the video prior?
Similar to what Tyler was.
Oh, you talking about those people like, I ain't gonna lie. No cap. People who be making videos like that, just dead ass disignore them. They're not even really making those videos to actually make a point. They're literally just doing it just to get, just to waste your time and get notoriety or clout or something. Niggas, like I said, everybody got the freedom of speech and freedom to rebuttal. But it comes to a point where niggas, they're not trying to hear, like, bro, they already made up their mind. There's really no reason to try to reason with these niggas, bro. There's no reason. They're already gone, bro. Just to feed their audience. They don't even have a real audience. That's the crazy part. They're literally speaking to nobody, and they're just waiting for somebody to react to give them that audience. They don't even have an audience to speak to. Like, nobody care about them. That's why I don't like niggas like Fresh and Fit. That's the reason why they will always be corny. They never had true fans. Like, nobody really truly fuck with them niggas because y'all just saying shit just to fit in and doing tomfool. Like, y'all not, like, y'all don't really have no real meaning in y'all words, bruh. No, the thing is, Ayo, they dead ass don't. A lot of these niggas don't do it. They literally get, because people get monetary gain for hate. It's literally all that is. None of these niggas ever believe in anything that they say. Like, you can tell they don't because they don't even know what they're talking about half the time. They're just saying shit because they know that they're going to get paid off of the shit that they say. It's always like, bro, you know how easy it is to get paid off of negativity? Like, dead ass, if tomorrow, if I decided to just be a hating ass nigga, I can literally just start saying anything about anybody. And I guarantee you on Twitter specifically or on TikTok, I will get a lot more engagement. I will get a lot more people. I will get a lot more people going to my shit, and I will literally just make a lot of money off that. Just for saying just dumb shit. Like, dead ass. Niggas don't care. I don't even know what I have to talk about. Like, I mean, I don't even have to know what I'm talking about. Nothing. I could literally just come up with some stupid shit that nobody will ever really care to put any type of thought in, except for, like, obviously people like him and shit. But like, the masses of people don't care about what they're seeing on their feeds or nothing. They just take the front page approach. You know what I'm saying? They will look at the big words and not look at anything else outside of that. And they will form their opinion on whatever the people that they like. And if that person has some tomfoolery that sounds convincible, not convincible, that's not even a word. If it sounds if it makes sense to them, they just gonna take that shit and run with it, bruh. They not even gonna do no, like, looking into none of that shit. none of these niggas don't believe any of this shit because they're saying nothing but tomfoolery and bullshit. And niggas fall for it every time because there's also the people who just have this thing where they have to prove these people wrong, which I don't mind it because some of these niggas do need to be proved. They do need to be put down a peg. Well, all of them do technically, but it's like once you realize that there's no need, you can't get no actual real conversation out of them. That's when you just have to hang it up, be like, you know what? Just let that nigga talk. Eventually, he's just gonna be talking to a brick wall again. Like you just, you know what I mean? As soon as you engage with a nigga like that, they on your ass, bro. They're like a mosquito. Once they get on your skin, they gonna keep on sucking you up. No pause.
Was in your circle right now
no
that
pause.
Needs to be called in, to be told that their Black experience is real and valid and that they will find community among us, and that call in could save them from weird anti-Black behavior in the future. So be just as invested in calling in folks as you are at calling out folks, and I think the world would be a better place. Speaking of calling in, let me bring your attention to my sponsor, Nebula. If you've been paying attention to me and similar content creators or just social media.
Shout out this man. Why was this video low quality though? What the fuck? Oh, I literally had it at 240p. Damn, I hold this man. I didn't even know I was watching. We were watching this video at 240p the whole time. I thought that was just the actual quality of the video. Damn, hold this man crazy. Golly. But that was a W video though. You know what I'm saying? Being self-aware. Wait, was that it? Or was there more? Nah, it's just a sponsor. Shout out to that man's sponsor, man. That was a W video. That was a W video, man. That was a W little video, you feel me? All right. What time is it? Oh, Lord, it's 8:30. How long I've been live? You live and you learn. Yeah. I will say though, now like watching these videos and shit, like this just is a personal shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really starting to really understand what it is to actually like being Black for real. I know that sounds crazy. Like, but y'all know I'm not really that political type of nigga. I mean, it's still not. I'm not saying that, you know, colored, you know, shit like that. But actually starting to be more aware and actually really like be like, this shit is real life affecting you for real, like, you know? And I guess it's me just actually watching people like this explain it in a way where it like can get me to actually start understanding like, hey man, you gotta start learning about people and shit, bro. A little bit more. Take that shit a little bit serious. I'm really starting to come into my own. Like, you gotta realize no matter where you go in this world, you still gonna be a nigga, bro. You're still gonna be a nigga, bro. Just gotta acknowledge that, bro. And it's okay. And it's okay to talk about this shit, even if other people don't really understand. Just as long as you acknowledge it, bro. That's the big thing too, because it's like I don't really talk about shit like this on stream because I know a lot of people probably just can't relate, or they just don't, you know, they're not trying to hear it and all that shit, which I can totally understand. Sometimes I ain't really trying to hear that shit too, but shouldn't be afraid to talk about these things at least sometime, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna make it my whole identity or anything, but at the same time, as like to acknowledge this shit is also important, at least if it's only sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to that man, bro. Shout out to all these people that be doing that shit, bro. Shout out to Antonio. Shout out to all these niggas, bro. Real people, man.